Okay, just make sure we're working. All right, we're ready to go. Sweet. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Brutal Planet Comics. I'm your host, Dre the Brute Daniels, and welcome to actually the first ever episode of the Kickstarter Roundup. And I am really happy to start doing this segment, doing a little live streaming with all my fellow creatives out there. And today I have myself a former guest, really awesome guy, one of my favorite people in the business. He is the creator of There's an Alien in My Toilet. Great title, always is awesome. Give it up, everybody, for Samuel Vera.
What's up?
What is going on, my friend? It's good to see you again.
Oh, it's good to be here. Same here, brother.
Absolutely. So let's do. So we got the live chat going on up here. Ivan DeVille, it's good to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining in and meeting my good friend Sam. He is doing a Kickstarter for "There's an Alien in My Toilet." How long is this Kickstarter running for, Sam?
30 days. So it's on today's the right now in 1 hour it'll be 48 hours that since I launched it. And so yeah, so it'll be another 28 days from here.
Sweet, great. So definitely go and support my man Sam. I'm leaving all his info in the description section below. But so let's chop it up just a bit, Sam. Last time I spoke to you a few months back, you still how's the dog babies? How are they?
Oh, my kids are doing great. Can't the Texas heat is a little much for them. They go outside for like 5 minutes and then you look like they walk the desert for like an hour, 5 hours. They're just panting. I'm like, all right, come back inside. So they'll sit in my. I have a Shih Tzu. He'll sit there and he'll muscle through it. If as long as I'm in the yard, he'll stay there no matter what. And
Nice.
he's like, he's like water, water. But he'll hang with me until the end, and then we'll go in and I'll make sure that I give him treats and I give him water.
Nice. But that's awesome. I'm glad they're doing well, and I know that Texas heat is no joke.
Oh,
Uh,
it's crazy,
that's for
crazy. When you're
oh
driving, it's even worse. You gotta jack up that AC.
oof. Yeah, I don't like, and like I'm an anti AC guy. It usually hurts my skin, but when like around here in DC, we've been getting straight 93-degree days, and we live in
Wow.
the swamp, so it's like that humidity is over 9,000. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's up there. So even I'm rolling the window up and like, you know what? Let's go and twist
Yeah.
that knob a bit. But yeah, man. But
Yeah.
I'm sure that Texas heat is killing,
Yeah. It's fire.
killing. So we in the past talked about there's an alien in my toilet. But for those that aren't familiar with the story, break it down for us. What's happening in there?
Well, his name is Dudarius Uranius. So he's from the planet Uranus, and his name is Duty. And basically, he is supposed to be the smartest, most intelligent species in the universe, and sent to Earth on a recon mission to determine if we're a threat to his homeworld. That's the story that he's led to believe. Really, what happens is General Goatee has the unfortunate responsibility of babysitting Duty because Duty's father is the Emperor of Uranus. So he needs a little break. So he sends him on a fool's errand to the third rock from the sun where they don't believe in UFOs. The government has it on lockdown. They always attribute it to weather balloons or whatever, and you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. And if you know too much, you disappear. So they know that nothing's gonna happen. So they just send him anyway. And so he comes and he's bragging and he crash lands, right? So as
Hmm.
smart as he is, he forgot to refuel. He crash lands and now he has to survive Earth's simple creatures. And the first issue, which launched a few months ago, so when he first got to Earth and now he has to survive Earth's simple creatures. In this issue, you'll find out a lot about his alter ego and how he refused to admit defeat no matter how many times he gets whooped. and his imagination takes on a whole new level. And if on the Kickstarter page you'll see him as a samurai, like what does the samurai and duty have to do to each other? Well, he gets attacked by red ants. He assumes the red ant's a ninja, and he becomes a samurai, right? And so that's how he does battle with his foe.
I like
So
that.
it takes on a whole new life of its own. So this you'll get a closer look into his psyche.
That is really cool, and I love out of this world type stories that I love. We talked about before. I love wordplay. I love wordplay. You know, Uranus. That's great. It's all tremendous. That's great. Um, so we talked about in the past, but I want to reiterate. Where did you come up with this idea for the story? Where did you come up with the idea before?
This one was very different from everything else I've created, because this was actually spawned by an editor for a newspaper who liked the work that I produced, and said, "Hey, if you had a sci-fi comedy comic strip, we'd be willing to publish it in our paper." So, um, that was the trigger. I was driving through Lincoln Tunnel, and then bam, Duty just showed up in my head. He says, "Hi, I'm Duty from Uranus," and that was it. And so I met with my buddies at IHOP, and I said, "Hey, I got the title, I got the concept. It's there's an alien in my toilet. His name is Duty. He's from Uranus." And that was it. And so I started creating the comic strip, and I decided I didn't want to do it as a comic strip. I wanted to do it as full fledged comic book. So I decided not to go with the paper and just self publish it on my own.
Nice, nice. So where? What about the design? The design for Duty, like where the because like on the outside looking in, he looks like inspiration from some type of cricket or a grasshopper.
It's funny. People say he looks like a Ninja Turtle. People say he looks, Everyone's like they're trying to figure out what he is. So uh, I love all things Jim Henson, right? And so I was influenced by Looney Tunes, and Jim Davis and Garfield, and the Peanuts. So for
Oh, nice.
me, simplicity was always key. And I try to keep it true to the traditional alien with the big bug eyes. Instead of the like a diamond shaped eye, I want it more round oval. I want the big bold shapes because kids are attracted to big bold shapes,
That's true.
right? And I wanted it simple. I didn't want it too complex. I didn't want all these layers. And what it does is that it allows Duty to take on all these persona and all these personalities because he is the ultimate cosplayer. You'll learn that Duty, he becomes just about anything and everything throughout the series. So this allows me to play. And so in hindsight, looking back, as I'm thinking about, like right now, I'm working on prototype toys. I'm thinking about accessories. Being
Okay.
able to put on the helmets and the clothing and all that stuff. So, like Barbie had wardrobe, I
Yeah,
want the
she
same for
did.
Duty, where he can put on a SWAT outfit. He could put on a samurai outfit. He could put on a ninja outfit. A cowboy outfit, and with the same form. And so subconsciously that was probably already predetermined when I created the character. When you asked me the question now, it clicked. Now it
Mm,
makes sense that I put him in all these things, but I always kept him pure with just his green frame.
yeah. So that's I mean, because like that, my brain always works in that way as well, Sam. Because I'm thinking to myself, cosplay. Like I'm like, what can I see him as? And I'm and I thought a lot of things you just rattled off was really cool. Like I would love to see a duty, great name, in a SWAT outfit or like a ninja costume or something that's like really outlandish. Like we're cut from the same generation. We grew up with Looney Tunes and Animaniacs and of course Jim Henson. His work is
Right.
timeless. And like even when you were thinking about like I was thinking like Kermit the Frog and like even Kermit throughout different iterations he would wear different outfits like I always think of like what was that Muppets Take Manhattan and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
uh and stuff like that. And he had to wear like different clothing and things. And I think that will work really well, especially as far as like accessorizing is
True
concerned.
story. I had a Kermit Frog stuffed doll from the age of 4 till I put it away when I was became 13.
Wow,
So I
it's a good
had
run.
him with me on my bed, by my pillow. That was my buddy, till I was 13, and I was like, all right, you know what? I can't explain this to girls anymore. I gotta put it away. But Kermit was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, and like me, like well, I'm gonna bust myself out. My character that I had an affinity for was Lamb Chop. I,
Wow, lamb chop. Wow.
and I actually had
Puppet?
the hand puppet. Yeah, the hand puppet plush one.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, the hand puppet plush lamb chop. I had that until I think I moved out of my mother's house. Like I think I
Wow.
kept it forever. Like it was on my bed for about a decade, and then
Wow.
it was like in the top shelf.
That's
So
awesome.
like you said, I can't explain this. There's no way I can explain this. Like let's lamb chop. That's my girl right there. You can't come between that. You know. You know? But yeah, but it's crazy how like certain things come in for influence for our creative juices to flow. And
Yeah.
I think that's really fascinating how things work. Like some things that just come out of nowhere, and it's just like, oh, yeah, Kermit. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
But that's really, really cool. So on questions of merchandise, since we brought this up, I couldn't help but notice all of them you got in the background, all the toys and merch. So how far has your toy line gone so far?
Right
Uh,
now, I'm just in the prototyping stage. Right now, I'm putting together. I'm picking the like. I have a samurai duty already done. I have a super duty done, and I have military duty done. 6-inch figures, prototypes, and then I have the plush doll, which is behind me. And then I also have a bust, a latex bust, and then I have latex little miniature duties, all prototypes to because my next stage is pitching a toy line to the toy manufacturers, and so right now I'm just picking the most appealing characters or renditions of Duty, so I can
mm,
show them the diversity and the appeal, and then hopefully be able to secure a licensing deal for a toy line.
the diversity of duty. I like it.
Yes.
I like it. But that's cool. So when did you start this prototyping for the toys?
I started a few years ago with the latex dolls, and then earlier this year I got the plush and the 3D printed figures of the others. And right now I'm working with someone on custom packaging to be able to show them what it would look like in a box on a toy shelf, and uh, and then right now I'm also trying to find the right uh, toy developer that's able to give me what I want with the accessories.
Mm. And now see, I'm pretty much ignorant to the toy game. Let me be as clear as I possibly can. So how? I mean, you don't have to name drop or anything like that. But so how did you go about finding somebody that was into that toy manufacturing um,
I
business?
just Google, Google. So that's it. I spent a lot of time just researching, and also going to chats. So there's a lot of communities with toy resin toy sculptors, and there's a lot of communities with toy designers. And so all I did was join their chats and ask questions, and that's how I determined, where to go, the ones that meet my budget, all that stuff, whatever. It's just I spend 2 hours a day minimum on research.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so my day's broken up into administration. Administration for me is whether it's updating the website, doing social media posts, creating thumbnails for the show, or thumbnails for the Kickstarter. Um, then it's drawing or writing on the book, on the series. So it's either
Hmm.
I'm drawing a page or I'm writing the next chapter. I try to break it down. And then there's 2 hours of just R&D research,
Hmm.
and it's just and I dedicate that time because So the world and the industry changes faster than you can blink. So I want to be ahead of the curve, and so I spend a lot of time. I have like bookmarks on my my web browser for everything from toy manufacturers to printers to sticker printers to whatever it is, supply depots, you know. And so I just have it broken down, and I also have it broken down by year, so I know that if I bookmarked it 3 years ago, I have to go back and research to see if they're still in the game or
Mm,
whatever. If I haven't used
mm,
them,
good
if
point.
anything's changed. Yeah, so I think the biggest thing anybody can do for themselves is make sure that they spend a lot of time just researching.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Wow, that's cool. I mean, but I mean, I say it pretty often, but you're burning the candle at all types of ends.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
sticking extra candles on it just so you can have something to burn.
yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, but to see your grind, um, as second to none out here, man. That's really good. That's really good. So, with your current run with "There's an Alien in My Toilet," how many issues are you think that you're going to produce? Like as far as like an arc is concerned. Well, no, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. Is there an arc in this, or is it just going to be like standalone stories?
So the first 10 issues is the punchline. Right? So what's the significance of the toilet? You're not gonna know until issue 10. All right, so that's the punchline in the whole series.
Got it.
So I think anybody who thinks that it's a scatological story, that there's a lot of butt jokes, there isn't. Right? It is there's a reason why the toilet is significant to the story. You won't know to you have to stick through to the 10th issue. Um, then from that point on, it goes on to because at the end of the 10th issue, things change for Duty, and so then now he goes on a whole new series of adventures, and on his return, on the second coming of Duty,
Nice.
um, is where they think Santa Claus now intelligence says Santa Claus is the leader of Earth, or he has to infiltrate Santa's camp and take him out. And so Santa Claus has his defenses. He has the elves. He has the snowmen. He has all these things. Duty has to do his thing. So
Nice.
it's gonna be an ongoing series, but the first 10 issues is almost as if it's the first volume in a series of books. It's
Okay.
the first 10 issues,
Okay. I
and
can
that'll
see
be
that.
two graphic novels. So every 5 issues will be another graphic novel.
Okay. That's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So, how is the okay? So you have 10 issues, but you're gonna break them in half. So
Yeah.
is so
Well, I'm
were
gonna
the
do four Kickstarters
okay?
for the first 4 issues. The fifth Kickstarter will be for the graphic novel, so it'll be 1 through 5 collected.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Got it. Got it. So will the five be a volume or the
yeah,
two
it'll
together?
be volume
Okay.
one of two.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Sweet. Sweet. That's cool. I like that. I love a good plan. When you were breaking down Santa being the leader of Earth, I couldn't help but think of Futurama. Uh, it's Robo Santa's a psychopath. I couldn't help but think about. I was like, Santa with a bazooka. Yes, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But that's cool, man. But I like to see that you got this whole arc worked out. That you got this whole uh anthology pretty much
And
kind
there's
of
also a
worked
children's
out.
book version of Duty. So there's Duty's Adventures, where which is also available on the Kickstarter, the first book in a series of books. So this is Duty's Adventures, and you can see the
Oh,
silhouette of a caped figure behind him. Well, in this is Duty as a kid growing up on Uranus, where he's being bullied in school, and so he makes the bully to be a supervillain, the diabolical egomaniac overlord nemesis Poo Poo. And so when Duty has to do battle with Poo Poo, so this is the this is this is the first in a line of kids books, full color, for Duty. So there's Duty's Adventures. There's Nailing on My Toilet. Then there's just Duty, which is where it comes back with him coming back for Santa Claus. And then there's the trading card game for
okay.
the series as well.
Okay, we just opened up a whole new can of worms here. Okay,
it's
so
so it's for me the Duty is a lifestyle brand, right? So it's called Duty's World, right? So the trading
okay.
card game is called Duty's World, and so it'll be completed 100% completed the game at the end of next year. Right now, I got the second set of trading cards available for, so you can start collecting the cards until the gameplay, the board, and the rules come out next year. That'll be its own Kickstarter for the full game. So most people, if you're following the series, at least you'll get a jump start because there's also the guidebook to Duty and Friends, which is all the characters. So you'll get an insight on all the characters that are coming in the series. Before you read about them in the series, you'll start getting some of the play cards, so you can start preparing and understanding the rules and the gameplay by the time the game book comes out. And then I'm gonna like overwhelm everybody, but there's also the activity book, right?
Oh my
So
goodness. Okay, hold on. Rewind. Hold on.
I'm
Hold.
flooding the gates.
Hold
Bring them
on.
out.
Hold on. Let me reel this fish in real quick. Okay. Okay.
Bagel.
So we got the children's book,
Yes.
and we have an activity book. So
And we
that's
have the
going to be like
activity book.
coloring and.
Yeah, so the activity book. No, I have a separate coloring book. So
Oh
there's a
my
coloring
goodness.
book
Okay.
all on this Kickstarter.
Okay.
So the activity book. So every issue of There's the End of My Toilet, there's 4 pages of activities, of trivia, word puzzles, critical thinking questions, mazes, to encourage reading, education, learning, imagination, right? And so this is the first in a series. It's the first time I'm produced a full activity book. So there's 24 pages of same thing. So you have trivia questions. You have uh, uh, word scramble. You have all related to the book and to science. You have puzzles. You have mazes. You have
Sam, I have way too many questions.
how to draw the characters in the series.
Wait a minute.
So this is
Okay.
so if you have nieces, nephews, cousins, you want to give a birthday gift, this is a great way to keep kids entertained, and while just sparking that the creative juices in their
Yeah.
brain.
Absolutely. Okay. Okay, I have questions. I have questions. Okay, first question. Before I even get into all those juicy details, because I need details. Um, why create children's books? I'm
Because
curious on
yeah,
why'd you want to do that?
so where when I grew up, I wasn't distracted by technology. When I grew up,
True.
I was influenced by gameplay. So we went outside. I was on every sports team. I
Mm,
played baseball, I played football, I
mm,
played basketball. I was on a volleyball team. I played golf. Whatever it was, we played BMX. We did all that stuff.
yeah.
Um, and then I grew up on Saturday morning cartoons, which sparked the imagination, which got me into illustration, right? And so all those things sparked. Number one, with sports, I learned how to play with others, right? And I learned, discipline. Number two, with the Saturday morning cartoons and all that other stuff, I learned how to use my imagination to create worlds, right? So I want to be able to do my part like the old masters did for me, right? So Jim Henson, was a big influence on me. Jim Davis, Charles Schultz, all
Mm,
the geniuses that influenced me growing up. I want to be able to do that for the next generation of kids and hopefully get them inspired. And then we need future, readers of comic books as well. So the reason why I got Duty's Adventures as a children's book because it leads into Duty and There's an Angel in My Toilet, the comic book, and the kids grow up with the brand.
that's
So
brilliant.
it's like linking them all together.
That is brilliant. Oh, my buddy Nick Lordy just jumped on. What's going on, Nick? And he
Hey, what's up,
said,
Nick?
"Duty is a great name for a
Thank you.
character."
Thank you.
Shout outs to my man Nick. So first of all, that's great, Nick. Nick, Sam. I'm looking at Nick's name. Sam. Is great. Um, one about giving back to what we had as children, because like us, we weren't really distracted by technology during our time of growing up. It was get outside, like,
Get
get
outside.
outside, and like as my father used to say all the time, in or out.
That's it. I'm not staying
Yeah,
in.
yeah, in or out. And we had everything. We were into sports. We were all into all different types of things. And me, I love to read. I loved to read when I was a
Yeah.
kid, and to this day, I love to read. And when I really think about how franchises work today. Every franchise, if you want to look at just work with low hanging fruit, Disney, for sake of argument. Let's work with Disney, and let's just say Marvel's Disney. Every story that they're now producing, minus new stuff that whatever that's jumping the shark, most of that stuff is 60, 70 years old.
Yes.
Overwhelming majority of these stories were written when our parents were kids,
Mhm.
and they passed those stories down to us, and then us our kids, so on and so forth. And now there's franchises that's completely built off of the goodwill of history and the goodwill of franchises that were built way before any of this stuff even became were put into the cinema.
Right.
The plan that you're putting together is the exact same thing, and I think that's really cool and that's really brilliant. Because when you think about it, kids' level of comprehension when it comes to reading is minuscule because they're children. But if they're used to seeing a particular character and relate it to a feeling, a thought, emotion, or what have you, that carries on into young adulthood and adulthood. And now we have a franchise that now has grown up with me.
Yes.
So now when I was young, I was reading all the child version of Duty, and now that I'm an adult, I'm now reading the adult adventures of him.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah. On the back of my comic books, I have a slogan that says, "Let's grow together and create memories together." So it's for, I think that's the whole purpose of Duty. I'd love, my ultimate goal is to have Duty become as endearing as, Snoopy and Charlie Brown was.
Ooh.
It's like that's my goal. And so, I was just at Licensing Expo in Vegas, where I got to, pitch to the big boys and talk to, make a lot of connections, and learn a lot.
Oh, nice.
And one of the things I took away from my experience there was that, um, I'm just a creative, and I have a lot of different things. I have a book called Forbidden. I got a book called Cosmic Wars, and I realized that if I really want to make Duty a success, that I need to really have tunnel vision with the character. So I decided that, take the pride. I know that I created all these stories, but put them aside for a little bit and
Mm-hmm.
really put all my heart and soul into the character that I love to draw. I giggle like a little schoolboy every time I'm drawing the damn character because he's funny as hell, and then bring my dream to life. And so that's my focus right now. So right now I'm really very singular, and which is why I'm trying to create a complete experience with Duty, not just a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the children's book, there's the activity book, there's the coloring book, there's the trading card game. There's so many layers to the series. There's the toys. So I want it so that when, um, a child sees it, they don't get bored.
Mm.
They have so many options.
Indeed.
You know what I
Indeed.
mean?
Oh
It's
yeah.
like it's like GI Joe. When I
Yep.
grew up with GI Joe, I never got bored. There was always something. There
Yes.
was if there was Gung Ho, there was Bazooka, there was Sergeant Rock. There was so many different, characters, and Flint and Duke and Lady J, and then there was the ships and the bases, and
Yeah.
it's like you never got bored.
Yep.
So same thing. GI Joe was a full experience. I had the comic books, I had the cartoons, I had the figures, and so, Duty is just an extension of the things that influenced me as a kid, and I want to do the same. And I just love every bit of it.
That's awesome, and that's awesome, Sam. And I appreciate pulling on my heartstrings 'cause I feel you right from the bottom of my soul there. Um, for what you're creating, I don't think it's too far fetched to say that it is ambitious.
Yes.
For what you're what you're
hence
what
hence crazy comics.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It is ambitious, but
Yeah.
and like you said, the idea of narrowing it, to getting the tunnel vision, in regards to what you're trying to do, because like you, I got my hands dipped in so many things myself. Matter of fact, I gotta finish doing some edits for my final pages for my issue 7 tonight. I mean, I gotta do that, but then I'm also got YouTube here and other stuff there, so I'm pulled in all different directions too, and I could definitely take a note from you and trying to be like, you know what, for the next 6 months, this is it. You know what I mean? I could take a note
Yeah.
from that, because that's that takes some doing, and that takes some discipline, and yeah, but that's
Yep.
really good. So my next question, the activity book. I have not forgotten. I have not forgotten. You got puzzles, you got crossword puzzles, you got trivia. Okay, okay. Did you come up with all these puzzles and stuff yourself
Yeah.
in these activity books?
Yeah.
Sam, are you have a genius level intellect and you're just not sharing it with me? Is that what's happening?
I'm a glutton for punishment. I just work. I work from 7 a.m. to midnight doing this. And so for me, it's like I wanted to be able to um, be involved in every step of the creative process from the beginning until I'm fortunate enough to have a licensing partner that's able to do what they do best and I can just create. So in the beginning, I need to be able to demonstrate to um, prospective buyers or
Sure.
investors, this is the foundation. I laid the foundation. I created the template. Here are the blueprints. And this is where I want to see it grow from here. I didn't want to be able to have somebody tell me the direction it's going to go.
Mm,
So this way you know that there's going to be a specific look and feel to every volume of the activity book, a look and feel to every. So there's a template, and that's just my way of just making sure that I do the right thing by duty and the brand
yeah.
from jump. So this way there is no and this all I need and again this is the ideal scenario is someone take a look at it and just like you already thought of that, you thought of this, you thought of this. All right, where do I sign the check and where do we start? That's all I want to know,
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I spent a lot of time just really fine tuning what I want it to look like.
And man, talk about wow. You really, I mean, I always have so much great appreciation for someone that puts their literal heart and soul into their work and their project. And without a doubt, you put your heart, your soul, I think a kidney, probably at least half a liver, into this. And man, that's impressive. That's it's really impressive to see that that you're able to designate. That's a good word. Ooh, SAT word. Designate so much of yourself and put it into this work. Because to me, this is beyond work for you. This is passion. This is a lifestyle, and
Yes.
I can feel that resonating by I can tell by the way you light up when you're describing what you're doing and why you're doing it. And that's definitely something that deserves um you deserve to have your work rewarded
Thank
um
you.
because of what you put into this. Because as you know, Sam, I've talked to everybody. I've talked to so many people, and but there are some I know there's some that are there to try to get to the glory or whatever, but
Right.
then there's those that do it for the love of the game, and you are that. You are definitely there for the love and the passion for what you're doing, and darn near second to none. I'm telling you, second to none. But that's
Thank you.
really good. So I have one more question in regards to the activity book. When you put the okay, all right, when you put the puzzles together,
Right.
did I did okay, all right. Like I saw the crossword.
Right.
Okay, I saw the crossword. So how much time did that take you? Because you had to find the words that you want to fill in the answers, and then
Right.
have at least a connecting vowel or consonant for another one, and then
Right.
so on and
Right.
so forth. What
Right.
the heck happened? How does that even happen?
Oh, there's you. I bought the software. So there's a software you buy that you put in all the information and it automatically populates it.
Oh,
And
okay.
then I extrapolate that and I bring it into like a Photoshop program and then I add what I need to do as far as colors and all that stuff to it.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so that's how.
Okay.
I'm not that kind of mad scientist.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
smart enough to know that you know what I know that we're in the age of technology. There's a software for everything. So for me, it's I go out there, I research it, and I'll invest in the programs
Gotcha.
and the
Gotcha.
tools to make my job easier. But again,
Gotcha.
by I'm a creator by nature, so I want to be able to create, and believe me, I started out that way. And then I just ripped everything up. I said, "This is taking too damn long."
Yeah.
It was like a week into it. I was like, "Nah, there's got to be a better way." And I just researched it and I found the software.
Yeah, and I think we all as creatives hit those brick walls from time to time. Like, there's got to be a better way,
Yes.
because I've gone through that.
If you thought it, somebody about it before you and probably invented it. That's the way I look at it.
That's a good way of
So it's
thinking
like if
about it
I'm
too.
thinking about, damn, I wish I had this to be able to do this. Oh, well, let me go to Google. I'm sure somebody thought about this way before it came into my head. And boom, there it is. Yeah, there it goes. Guy named Peter from Wisconsin created it in 1999. So
How true it is.
yeah.
So, did you do that for all the other puzzles as well? Those programs
Yes,
involved?
the only things that I was the trivia questions and the word scrambles I did myself. But the puzzles was a software generator, and the the yeah, all the puzzle stuff was all the way. Yes, that was all done with a program.
Awesome, awesome, my brother. That is tremendous. The tremendous. So let's talk a little bit about your stretch goals that you got there for your Kickstarter. So
I don't have
what
the
do we?
stretch goals listed yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay,
Not yet.
okay.
So we're day two. We are $124 away from making goal.
Hey,
Um, yeah.
nice.
I have a backer goal.
Okay.
So there's a backer goal because last campaign we had 86 backers. If we get to 100 backers this time, then everybody will get not the frame, but you'll get that print that's in the frame. So
Hey.
everybody will get that print. So if you're a physical backer, you'll get that physically. If you're a digital backer, you'll get a digital version. Um, and th- and uh, so that's the first thing that's listed on the site. Return backers from issue one and are coming back and backing issue two.
Mm.
Everybody gets a free magnet.
Okay.
And anybody who's watching the show now and who goes on and pledges at a physical level will get the magnet as well. So this is a 3 inch by 4 inch Super Duty magnet with the diabolical egomaniac or Lord Nemesis poo poo in the background. So yeah, as a thank you. So as a way of driving traffic to your show, so any of your viewers who actually go to the Kickstarter and make a pledge will physically they'll get this. If they do a digital pledge, they'll get a digital print of this image as well.
That's tremendous. So everybody's watching. Go
Yeah.
pledge. Go pledge
Yeah.
now.
Stretch goals will be unlocked after I mean, will be announced once we make goal.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I won't. I
Yeah.
won't. I won't
This is the
push the
first
envelope.
time I omitted the stretch goals
Okay.
because I wanted to be able to see it.
Oh,
I wanted to be able to reach the goal before I put the stretch goals up. Um, and so we are, you know, a couple of pledges away from making goals. So hopefully.
okay. What's up, Owl Watch? I see you, buddy. Um. Wow. That's really good, though, man. That's really really good. Wow. 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 And 2 days in, we're almost there. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So everybody, go and support Sam. Go and support the great work that they're doing. The information for his Kickstarter is in the description section below. Go and pledge. You got to know this gentleman. I actually seen him before, obviously, on my show earlier in my season. You know, this man has his heart, his soul, as I've mentioned, kidney, partial liver, everything is put into this work. He definitely deserves to see his work be rewarded. Definitely check out his Kickstarter
Yeah,
for
and there's no
sure.
waiting for anything because everything's done. So, if I mean, I just ended what 6 weeks. Everybody got their. I launched the first campaign in February, and everybody got their stuff in April, and I'm launching the second issue now. And everyone's slated to get it in July, but I mean in August, but it'll be probably be sooner because this campaign ends July 1st, I believe.
Hmm.
So you know, once the campaign ends, I start packing everything and getting ready to ship it.
That's the way to do it. I concur. That's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. But oh man, I can't wait to see what else you got cooking up there, Sam. You're doing tremendous work. As I love to say, the Lord's work. You're doing wonderful things, man. You're doing wonderful things. Is there anything else you like to plug? Sam?
Yeah, I will be June 17th through 19th. Anybody who's in Texas, I'll be at the Dallas Fan Expo in Artist Alley. So I'll be there for 3 days. So come and check it out. And in August, I will be at the Denton comic art exhibit. And it's an all family and kids event, which is right up Duty's alley. And so I'll be there. So I just wanted to, plug that and check out, go to Kickstarter. There's nailing in my toilet. If you think you're too cool to laugh, then you know what? Give the gift of laughter to your niece, a loved one. It's a great birthday gift. And Duty is hilarious, but there's also an educational value too. And there's a lot to offer on the campaign. Check it out. Give it a shot. I know it's not, Iron Man or the Avengers, but Duty can kick Patootie just as good as they can. Just saying.
Well said. Well said. Well, Sam, once again, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come and
Thank you.
share your Kickstarter with us. I can't wait to see it succeed in a very, very short period of time, no doubt. And I can't wait to see what else you come up with.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, absolutely. Well, everybody, this has been the Kickstarter Roundup. You all have been awesome, and I will catch you all